Eurovision Knockout 2025 is almost underway as we've got a little pre-qualifier to deal with first. Plus, of course, we'll be revealing the draw for the group stage. Are you excited? Because I know I am. Roll titles! Afternoon, evening everybody, my name is Jamie Jew and welcome back to a brand new video where this time it is the second episode of Eurovision Knockout 2025, where this time I will be introducing the group stage draw and revealing which particular countries will go into which particular groups, and of course revealing all the details on how you can have your say and vote in Eurovision Knockout 2025. Yee! But before we dive into that, of course I need to tell you a quick reminder that we need to do the pre-qualifier bit first, featuring the 4 countries in that one, which were of course San Marino, Georgia, Denmark and Montenegro, and it was certainly interesting. And then after that I will be revealing the draw for the group stage in an effective live draw sense, like you will be actually seeing a proper draw, which is very, very exciting indeed. Well, hopefully it will be, because I haven't done it yet. But before I dive into all of that, I will of course encourage you guys as always to subscribe to my Eurovision YouTube channel. I've reacted to all 37 participating countries in this year's Eurovision Song Contest, done some shorts in the meantime, and of course done some countdowns here and there. Speaking of which, I need to do an updated top 37 countdown and of course compare the songs from this year to 2024. Still need to do that. Sorry about that. So yeah, thank you very much for subscribing if you haven't already done so. And speaking of which, I'm currently at that particular count, so I know the majority of you who watch my videos aren't even subscribed, so get subscribing right now. Thank you very much. Otherwise, without any further ado, it's now time to dive into the pre-qualifier results and then of course the draw for the group stage of Eurovision Knockout 2025 right here on this channel. Here we go. So without any further ado, let's reveal the pre-qualifier results first of all. And well, the thing is, like, okay, right, I was going to do a little bit of a build up with all of this, showcasing from first to fourth effectively, since at the end of the day whichever country ends up last is unfortunately eliminated from the whole entire competition and will not go through to the group stages. But I gotta admit to you, it wasn't even close, because just revealing the table here, and this is of course how I usually reveal the table from the normal group stages, the bottom country in question only got 4% of the votes. Unfortunately, this particular country is not qualifying for the group stage, which is not surprising, which is Georgia for Freedom. Like, it was so low with a lot of people's expectations, and obviously given its other reputation with this artist, I'm not surprised it's ended up last in any way, shape or form. But let's reveal the top 3 regardless. So I can tell you the country with 20% and of course qualifying for the group stage is Montenegro. Dobrodosli got 3rd place overall with 20% of your votes. Thank you very much for all voting, of course. With 31% of the vote and also qualifying and finishing 2nd in this pre-qualifier group was Denmark with Hallucination. That might come in handy for later on, you never ever know. And topping the group, unsurprisingly, with 45% of the vote, a clear favourite is of course San Marino with Tutta l'Italia. So it looks good for those. Well, I would say definitely for San Marino. May look good for Denmark. Not holding much hope for Montenegro, but yes, we are saying goodbye to Georgia. Right, so now it is time to deal with the rules and regulations on how we are going to be conducting the draw for the group stages. This is definitely one of the most exciting bits, because I can't wait to do this, because I like draws and that sort of sense, you know, FIFA football tournaments or the semi-final allocation draw, that kind of thing. So this is definitely the most exciting part. So here are the first set of rules and regulations to deal with. There are a total of effectively 6 pots. There are 5 normal pots plus the automatic qualifiers. So as far as the 5 normal pots are concerned, they are conducted in the same way as per the semi-final allocation draw, although with one exception. Because of course Georgia are not in the main group stage draw, I've had to slightly switch it around a bit. But again, I took into consideration how the pots are conducted in the first place, in the fact that the countries are in certain pots depending on voter or voting preferences between certain countries. So I took that into account like the original semi-final allocation draw. So this is the order of the draw. First of all, the auto qualifiers in each of the top will actually fill out the top positions in each group. So in other words, out of the big five in Switzerland, they'll fill out basically the top slot of Group A, then one goes into Group B, then one goes into Group C, etc, etc, etc. And then the remaining pots will then be decided via another separate draw to determine which draw will go in next in sequence. So it's not going to be a case of pot 1 will be next in line, then pot 2, then pot 3. This will be done randomly in order to make it as fair as possible in terms of a fairest outcome, that is for sure. I just thought that would be best to do. And of course then, once that pot is selected, that pot will fill out the remaining gaps in each section of each group. So as far as, like, say, for the first selected pot, that will fill out the 3 remaining groups or 3 remaining spaces of the top of each group, since there are 9 groups in total. So going from Group A to Group I. Then they will fill out the remaining second section, third section, and the fourth section in turn. So that's when, of course, we'll get it completely filled out and completely fair, and it doesn't dwindle out in a longevity sort of way. It makes it nice and simple and cohesive to go through all the groups. So without any further ado, it is now time to reveal the pots in question. Let's do this. So of course, as I already mentioned, I've had to fiddle this around a little bit. So in pot 1 we have Belgium, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Luxembourg and the Netherlands. In pot 2, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Slovenia, Israel, Poland and Ukraine. Pot 3 is Albania, Austria, Croatia, Montenegro, Serbia and Czechia. Pot 4 is Cyprus, Greece, Malta, Portugal and San Marino. Pot 5 is Australia, Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway and Sweden. And the auto-qualifier pot is France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Switzerland and the United Kingdom. So without any further ado, should we begin the draw? Okay, it is now time to begin the draw for the group stage for the Eurovision Knockout 2025. And yes, I will be showcasing this to you guys, as already mentioned. So we're going to begin with, of course, the Big Five plus Switzerland, as in the auto qualifiers. First, to determine whereabouts they will be going in the draw, I just need to get the pot in question up and also make sure I can still see you guys, no problem. Actually, that was a bit weird. Okay, no issues now. You can see the thing, no problem. So it should still all be good. Right, let's first of all give it 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A little bit of a shuffle. So remember, we are going through the first section of all the groups. So in other words, the first country to be picked will be Group A, then second country to be picked will be Group B, third country to be picked will be Group C, and so on and so forth until we filled up all of the groups. So, first country to be selected is Germany. They will be going into Group A, for that matter. Okay, just done a little bit of a switch up there, and so the next country will be... Don't worry, it's not the United Kingdom. But it might be though, and it is Group B for the United Kingdom. So they will go into... I'm just going to make sure you can see him a little bit better. Blimey, made it a little bit more even now. So yes, United Kingdom go into Group B for sure. Right, the next country out. Yeah, sod off. I will get on with it, shall we? The next country to be selected is... Or was it Switzerland or Spain? It's Switzerland. Into Group C. And the next country going into Group D is France. La France. Then more of a shuffle to determine which country might be next. Ignore all the sound effects in the background, but there you go. And then there's Italy for Group E, meaning Spain goes into Group F. So that is the Big Five plus Switzerland done. Now we will decide which particular pot goes next. Remember, this is all done in random order. Oh, excuse me. Right, the next pot to be selected, or more to point, the first one to be selected is pot 4. So we go to that one next. And here is pot 4. In here, of course, as a quick reminder, is Cyprus, Greece, Ireland, Malta, Portugal and San Marino, excuse me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Give it a good shuffle, and the next country going into Group G, bearing in mind, will be Greece. So they go into Group G. And next up, do 2, 3, 4, 5. Must remember to do the shuffle. Is San Marino goes into Group H. Next country to be selected this time going into Group I is Ireland. By the looks of it, the things keep stopping every now and then. There you are. There's officially Ireland. So now we will go through the groups again. This time into Section 2, starting with Group A. And next up out of the hat, I probably should have shuffled, but it is what it is. Oh, is it Portugal? It is Portugal. They will join Germany in there with them. I'll give that last bit a bit of a shuffle so I don't forget. But Portugal go into Group A. This time, the next country will be joining Group B with the United Kingdom. Will it be the irony of serving? Or will it be... Oh, the irony! Malta goes into Group B along with the United Kingdom. The irony of that. Which means Cyprus goes into Group C. That is insane. Bit of a shuffle. And the next pot to be drawn is... Pot 5 we go to. Okay, so we'll give it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of a shuffle, and let's go. Remember, we're going through the second section of all the groups, and the next country out for Group C is Finland, and they will be up with France. Could be a bit of a group of death that already. Is Australia going into Group E? They certainly are. So they're going to Group E along with Italy. 2, 4, 5. And the next country out, I think it might be Norway. Norway will go into Group E with Spain. So well done Norway for that, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the next country is... It's Iceland that will join Greece in Group G. And final shuffle. And the country going into Group H is Denmark, which means Sweden go into Group I along with Ireland. Alright, the next pot to be selected, give it a bit of a shuffle. And the next pot to be selected is... Will it be pot 2? Will it be pot 1? It is pot 1. That's going to be the next one out of the pot. And a quick reminder of the countries in pot 1. Belgium, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Luxembourg. For some reason, that's meant to be Luxembourg. And the Netherlands. Right, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right. The first country out, remember this is going through the third section of all the groups, so starting off with Group A is Estonia. They will be going with Germany and Portugal into Group A. Now the next country that is probably going to ruin the UK's chances is... Well, they might ruin Malta's chances, you never know, is Lithuania. So Lithuania goes into Group B along with the United Kingdom and Malta. And the next country out, whoa, is it Latvia or Belgium? It is just about Latvia by the looks of it. Yes, it is. And they will go into Group C along with Cyprus and Switzerland. And the next country out, it's time into Group D. I think it might be the Netherlands. Yes, it is the Netherlands. the table's gone a bit wider than I thought. Made it a bit more clear now so you can see it all. And the next country coming out of the hat. Yeah, sod off, we know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Going into Group E. The next country to be selected going into Group E will be Belgium, which means Luxembourg will be into Group F. They're going to be end up big, and they? Yes, they certainly are. That's filled out. Let's make that a little bit more central. Good enough. There you go. Right, we're almost done with all of this. It's now time for the penultimate pot to be selected. So let's go back to the pots, give it a bit of a shuffle. And the next pot to be drawn is pot 3. We're going to pot 3. which means last up will, of course, be pot 2. But otherwise, a quick reminder of the pot 3 is Albania, Austria, Croatia, Czechia, Montenegro, and Serbia. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. And the first country to be selected, this time going into Group G, is Croatia, along with Iceland and Greece. I feel I know who's going to win that group, easy peasy, but you never know. And the next country to be selected, this time going into Group H, it is Czechia. So Czechia will go into Group H along with Denmark and San Marino. That could be a good one. You never know. And I've just realised, by the way, Group D looks like a bit of a group of death at this point. Has to be said. 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. We'll move on. The next country coming out this time into Group I is Montenegro. Will be with Ireland and Sweden. Okay, so that's virtually nearly there now. So we're just on to the final section. So we've got 3 more countries to go with this particular pot, and then we'll be moving over to pot 2. I just realised pot 1 still there, but actually only got the 1 country there, so that's fine. And the next country, it was close, but the next country out this time to Group A is Serbia. So Group A is complete with Germany, Portugal, Estonia, and Serbia completing it. But who will now join Group? What am I on about? Group B, it is. Oh, this is actually going to be tasty either way if you think about it, but it is Albania that completes Group B, along with the United Kingdom, Malta, and Lithuania, which means Austria go into Albania. There you are. Which means Austria go into Group C, and so we've got 1 more pot to decide. And a quick reminder of the countries for pot 2: Armenia, Azerbaijan, Slovenia, Israel, Poland, and Ukraine. 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's give it a bit of a shuffle, which I've done. The first country out this time going into Group D is Armenia, completing Group D. So they are literally in amongst the sea of the group of death, I would say, with that one. But I suppose you never know. But that's just my interpretation of it all. And the next country out for Group E is Azerbaijan, going into Group E. And yeah, alright, you know Azerbaijan. And the next country this time going into Group F. And quick reminder, Group E is Italy, Australia, Belgium, and Azerbaijan. And Group F has Poland completing that one, along with Spain, Norway, and Luxembourg. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, completing Group G is Ukraine, along with Greece, Iceland, and Croatia. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And completing Group H will be Slovenia, along with San Marino, Denmark, and Czechia. Dare I say one particular country's got it more favourable from the other, and therefore going into Group I and completing the draw is Israel. Kind of ironic, with Group I being completed by Ireland, Sweden, Montenegro, and of course Israel, excuse me. So here to the effectively right of me or left of you, I don't know what it is, but there is all of the groups there in their respective areas. Bear with me, my microphone little plump thing came off. Also, it's quite hairy, isn't it? I didn't even give it a bit of a clean. But this time, of course, I've also added all the songs in, so you know which, of course, is which. And yes, over the next few days, or well, a few weeks actually, you'll be deciding which particular country will be going first in each particular group, and which out of the best 7 of 9 of the second places will be going through to the knockout stages. The rest of the third places and fourth places will be saying bye-bye in this knockout. Bye-bye. But don't worry, I will regrade them all accordingly. So therefore, it's like a bit of a sort of poll thing going on. So yeah, this will be a lot of fun, wouldn't it? And with that, Eurovision Knockout 2025 is finally underway. So get voting all throughout those particular days. As I say, it'll be one per day. I forgot to mention at the beginning. So basically, there'll be one vote per day per group. So in other words, we're going to be starting effectively on the evening of today, the 4th, and there'll be one vote per group per day. So cool, let's do this. So without any further ado, first of all, get voting, and secondly, get subscribed to my Eurovision YouTube channel so you don't miss out. Thank you very much. And of course, ring the bell to get notified about my latest videos, and like the video for good measure. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you once the knockout's done, and maybe another video and all the rest of it. Bye bye everybody. Bye bye.